Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you have found me and this is your first time, welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Souled Mermaid, and today I have an unboxing. This deck I got way back around in mid-December. It is a deck that I have wanted for about a year and a half when it came out. I think it's been about a year and a half. It's a deck by Red Orchid Publishing, and once I saw this deck on Kelly Fitzgerald's channel, The Truth and Story, I knew I had to have this deck. But then I had backed so many Kickstarters and did so many pre-orders that this one kind of fell on the back burner. So I do not get every deck that I want, and there have been some decks that I've missed out on. So, but I'm happy to have this one, that this one is still around, and I'm gonna undo this beautiful red envelope. Don't you just love it? And yeah, I guess it was maybe, well, it's Red Orchid Publishing, so maybe this is their standard envelope. All right, so I'm gonna get everything out of the package, and I will be back with you. Okay, so I got everything out of the package. As you can see, this is the let me get the title correct. The Art History Tarot for Past Lives. Yeah, I have a hard time with the title. So I did get the deck, which comes in a beautiful red velvet bag with a little emblem. This is the book that goes with the deck, and I did opt for the extra workbook, 21 Days to Understanding Yourself. So we'll take a look at the books. Yeah, it took me a while to get this video filmed because I was doing all my end of the year looks at into my collection, and I didn't want to open this deck, so it'd be something else to add in, but I wouldn't have had enough time to work with it. So let's get into it. So we'll move the books aside and we'll get in a little bit closer. Okay, Art History Tarot for Past Lives. It's a nice glossy tuck box, really pretty. Red Orchid Publishing. On the bottom it says, for as long as we suppress the goddess, we will continue to seek. Oh, I like that. I guess this is an example of one of the cards. There's another one that looks like Joan of Arc. The Art History Tarot deck for Past Lives is a selected compilation of historical art designed to help you connect your soul to the past. Several tarot cards have been designated to geographical areas that share astrological zodiac signs with the corresponding tarot card. Select cards are assigned to certain historical periods as well. Each of the 78 images displays powerful emotional scenes rooted in place and time to guide the reader through the journey of past life exploration. The deck can be used as a traditional tarot deck as well. So if I remember correctly, the creator, and I don't have her name offhand, is it Melanie Eva Henson? Melanie, yeah. I think she designed this deck because she wanted a past life reading deck, a deck that she could use for that purpose, and there wasn't anything really on the market that she found suitable. So she designed this deck to work within the limitations of tarot, you know, with the 78 cards. So let's open this beauty up. All right, so the cards are not wrapped in plastic inside the tuck box. I think I'm going to fold this tuck box up and just keep these cards in the little bag because it was really hard for me to open this up, and I was afraid I was going to rip it. So it's not the most sturdy of tuck boxes. It's really pretty, and I would hate to see it ruined. All right. Those are the gorgeous Red Orchid backs. And just going right off the bat, it is a matte finish. I would say somewhere along the lines of a U.S. Games cardstock or between a Llewellyn, but not as nice as the U.S. Games. Like kind of towards like the traditional Morgan Greer or antiquarian matte, but not quite as sturdy. But it's not bad at all. Really not at all. It does not come edged, and I think I will probably end up edging this in black. Yeah, because the backs are black, and I think that will work really well. Okay, let's turn this over. So I think we'll just do a flip through, and I think there are categories for these cards, and we'll split them up, and you know, the geographical area cards and maybe the period, time periods. If you notice on the bottom of the card, it does have a little bit about what the depiction is, what the artwork is, and this is the Archangel Gabriel in the Annunciation by Filippino Lippi, 1489 to 91. Somewhere where they're estimating, I guess this was done, and this is the full card. So there is a little bit about the artwork, and I hope that there's even more in the book. This is kind of hard to read. So you'll see that there's the traditional title for the tarot card, the Fool, and then it's you. The Fool is you, the querent. So the Magician is Africa, also Africa. Am I down close enough, you guys? Let's see. So you know I love art decks, old art decks, so this is right up my alley. So the High Priestess is also before Christ. The Empress. And so the tarot titles are very small, and you'll see that the category is large. And we will work on separating these out after I go through the cards. Father and Emperor. The Hierophant is also religion. The Lovers, also the Lovers. The Chariot is America. Strength is strength. This is the death of Samson. So the Hermit is a location, so it's Asia or a continent. The Wheel of Fortune is fate. And this is The Role of Fate by Walter Crane, 1882. I do love it that they have the artwork on the card. It's very unobtrusive. Justice is justice. The Hanged Man is premature death. Death is death. This is The Angel of Death by Horace Vermey, 1851. Temperance is karmic lesson. The Devil is slavery. I'm really interested to separate these out in their categories. The Tower is plague. I would say that's very appropriate. The Star card is Europe. And this artwork is Europe as a Queen by an unknown artist. South America is the Moon card. The Sun card is Australia. I would say that's appropriate. Judgment is the Middle East. The World card is migration. All right, so if you see, now we're going into the suits, and you'll just see there's abbreviations. So A of C, so Ace of Cups. It's very, very small. So this is for a country or location, Turkey. The Two of Cups is spouse. Three of Cups is friendship. And the Four of Cups is apathy. The Five of Cups is loss. This is Youth Mourning by George Clausen, 1916. Karmic connection is the Six of Cups. The Seven of Cups is poison. This is a Rembrandt painting. The Eight of Cups is abandonment. Nine of Cups is the Congo. Wow. African Warrior with Sword by Albert Eckhout, 1641. So it looks like we have, you know, artwork from the 16 to the 1900s, 1600s to the 1900s. So the Ten of Cups is twin flames. Page of Cups is daughter. Knight of Cups is the hero. Queen of Cups is the loving woman. I love this portrait of a nurse from the Red Cross. Gabriel Nicolay, 1915. The King of Cups is the benevolent man. So it's St. Louis, King of France. And this is from the 1600s. Korea is the Ace of Wands. China is the Two of Wands. So now we're getting a period of time too. So the Three of Wands is High Middle Ages. Late Middle Ages is the Four of Wands. The Five of Wands is conflict. So that's pretty apt. Six of Wands is the 16th century. Discovery of the Mississippi by De Soto by William Henry Powell, 1853. Seven of Wands is resolute. This is a painting of David thanking God after the death of Goliath in the 1700s. So Eight of Wands is the 18th century. Nine of Wands is prison. Ten of Wands is depression. Oh, look at this sweet page. Page of Wands is the Sun. Knight of Wands is the Traveler. Visible Woman is a Queen of Wands. Christina, Queen of Sweden, she was something else. You should read about her. She's very interesting. Ooh, Philandering Man, King of Wands, King Henry VIII. Very well-known painting, and yes, he was a philandering man. Japan is the Ace of Swords. Genetic illness is the Two of Swords. Did I get that right? Yeah, the Two of Swords. The Three of Swords is broken-hearted. Four of Swords is chronic illness. Five of Swords is violence. Six of Swords is drowning. Seven of Swords is betrayal. A Judas kiss. Eight of Swords is oppression. Nine of Swords is dreams. Ten of Swords is murder. The Blue Boy. It's a famous painting. Page of Swords. And he's a brother. The Knight of Swords. Soldier. The Queen of Swords. Rational woman. Yes. Queen Elizabeth the First. Rational man is the King of Swords. Karl the 14th, Johann, King of Sweden and Norway. Ace of Pentacles is Spain. Two of Pentacles is India, the Taj Mahal. Three of Pentacles is old age. Four of Pentacles is greed. Oh, that's kind of brutal. The Five of Pentacles, starvation, and this is titled Dying from Starvation and Torture at Belsen, oh gosh, concentration camp by Eric W. Taylor, and it was done in 1945. My God. The Six of Pentacles. Oh gosh. That card was rough. The Six of Pentacles is charity. The Seven of Pentacles is 17th century. The Eight of Pentacles is Greece. And the Nine of Pentacles is the 19th century. It's titled The Dissatisfied Painter. 10 of Pentacles is Mexico. It's where my mother is from, and all the ancestors from her side. Though I think she does have on her father's side some Spanish lineage, a European Spanish lineage as well. Page of Pentacles is the sister. It's a beautiful portrait, the young Swiss girl by an unknown artist. Knight of Pentacles is the true friend. Indigenous woman is the Queen of Pentacles. Indigenous man is the King of Pentacles. Buffalo Bull's Back Fat by George Catlin, 1832. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to try to put these in some kind of grouping. I'll be right back. Okay, so I divided these cards up into categories, and it didn't really, I just flipped through the book really quickly, and it didn't really say how to, you know, if they were specifically meant to be in specific categories. So I just kind of winged it. Excuse me. So we've got the Fool card, which is you, or, you know, whoever the querent is. So that is card 0, the Fool. So I'm going to move that aside. And then this category is a category of what I deem more of archetypes. So you could have been an Indigenous woman, an Indigenous man, the rational woman, the soldier, the visible woman. She could have been also the philandering woman. Philandering man, you could have been the hero. You could have been the loving woman or the benevolent man. And then to pinpoint it again, you could have been in a past life a spouse, a mother, a father, a daughter, a son, a traveler, a brother, a sister. You could have been a true friend. You could have been one part of a loving couple. And this card for twin flames, I lumped it in here because I think it went. Something you could have experienced, maybe a spiritual quest you could have found, or in a past life you could have been looking for, or you could have been in the hierarchy of some kind of religion. You could have been the benefactor or the giver of charity. You could have had a very resolute disposition. You could have been very religious or very firm in your convictions, philosophies, political beliefs. You could have had exhibited great strength. You could have had to have learned, or you taught some karmic lesson to somebody, or there could have been a karmic connection. You could have administered, or you could have had justice been put upon you. Now, also, let's see, another category could have been your fate. What was your fate? Or your death. Your fate was death. It could have been a premature death. In a past life, you could have died by poison, by drowning. You could have been murdered. You could have died from a long chronic illness or a genetic illness. You could have starved to death. You could have died in the plague or some other disease. Or you could have lived, maybe to old age. And some things that could have happened to you, or you could have experienced in your past life. You could have befallen to greed. You could have been brokenhearted. You could have experienced abandonment, physical or emotional. You could have experienced any kind of loss. You could have experienced apathy, depression. You could have been a slave. You could have been a prisoner. Okay, here's depression. There is an actual card for depression here. You could have experienced betrayal, or you could have been somebody who betrayed somebody else. You could have been the oppressor or the oppressed. You could have experienced violence or incited violence yourself. You could have experienced conflict or been the source or caused a conflict. You could have been privy to dreams and prophecies, perhaps. You could have experienced intense friendship or had friendships broken. You could have migrated from your home and been an adventurer. You could have migrated to America or some other place in your life. You could have lived in the 16th century, the 17th century, the 18th century, the 19th century. They don't have one for the 20th century. You could have lived in the high Middle Ages, the late Middle Ages, or before Christ. So that's kind of any time before Christ. And 4 places you could have been: on the continent of Australia, South America, Europe, Asia, America, or Africa. So Europe is kind of a catch-all, you know, for Eastern, Western Europe. There's nothing really for Scandinavia. You know, Russia. So it's just kind of a blanket catch-all. And then we have countries. We have Mexico, Greece, India, Spain, Japan, China, Korea, the Congo, because that's a place in Africa, I guess, so we're kind of pinpointing it there. We have Turkey and the Middle East. Again, nothing. I like how they have half of my heritage, but they don't, other than Spain, like a true European country, they don't have. Like the other half of my lineage is in Scandinavia. So that, but I understand, you know, you have to work within 78 cards. So I'm going to put these all back and we're going to take a look at the books really quick. This is the companion book. Comes with the deck. It's black and white imagery, just very economical paper, but it's not bad. So the creator does have, so this was created in 2018, so it has been a while that I've been wanting this deck. She says, I've been reading tarot professionally for 5 years and own an established business as a spiritual consultant, as well as developing thorough understanding of the cards. I am also a medium. I am the type of reader who invites spirit to play a significant role in the tarot reading process. What you hold in your hands is a deck I wish existed, a tarot deck especially designed for reading past lives. As I read past lives for my clients, the tarot often revealed interesting information that pertained to the client's current life, phobias, fears, blockages, painful relationships, etc. Tarot was especially revealing and helpful for healing current life problems as read through a past life lens. However, I often had to abruptly leave the tarot and rely solely on mediumship to orient the past life in place and time when reading for clients. I either use tarot for life questions or mediumship to connect to deceased loved ones. The switch mid-reading was jarring and especially challenging. What if I asked myself, we designated certain cards for countries and periods of time? Then I could allow the cards to flow through the session as they would in any other tarot reading. Interesting. I need to acknowledge that this deck is not as inclusive as it would ideally be. Much of the art history is Eurocentric. Efforts were made to find artists and subject matters from diverse cultures, but as I was limited to royalty-free public domain images for this project, the deck does not include the range of history I would deem ideal. Please rely heavily on the diversity arising from the cards to find your truth. And she goes into about, she addresses the topic of gender. And yeah, there's how to read. There's no table of contents in the book. So how to read with past life. How to read a past life with tarot. And there's a spread here. So it's a 6-card spread with number 1 being your core, where and when. 2, your where and when. That's the crossing core. 3 is passing influence, what you still carry from this past life. 4 is your inner qualities. 5, how others saw you. Okay. and how this life is manifesting now. So for the descriptions, you get the name, you get root energy in a past life, you get the place and the time for each card. And then you get, here is the history about the art, which is really, really good. I have some other art decks, and you really wish you knew, where the art was coming from, and some other art decks where you have it, but it's really, really hard to read. So let's see what you get in some in the minors. So you get still the traditional card, root energy in a past life. It's a lot less. Alternative interpretations though, and you get the place for the card and the time, and then you do get about the artwork, the artist and the artwork. Anything else at the end? No, it looks like you got some blank pages, maybe if you want to do notes. Also, if you'd like a reading with the creator. And we'll quickly go into the workbook. Now, you get the deck and the book and the bag. I want to say it was about $37, $38, somewhere between $37 and $40. And then it was about a little over $50 if you wanted the workbook to go with it. So we'll take a look at this. And I really do want to work with the two in conjunction. So this does have a table of contents, introduction before you begin, spiritual, ritual, and pre-assessment, spiritual essence spreads, narrative spreads, spiritual blockage spreads, relationship spreads, phobias and fears spread. Okay, I'm really glad I got this. Dream spreads, life goal spreads, post-assessment and reflection, repeating course pages, extra visual language worksheets, and a dream journal. What's that? Dream journal 131. Okay, so you get some pages to record details from your dreams to use with the dream spreads. Very cool. Okay, so we'll just kind of flip through this really quick. So she has an introduction. Ooh, Father and Mother in Heaven, questions to consider. What memories do you have of feeling at peace spiritually or feeling a strong connection to God? What prayers or spiritual language from your childhood still feel good to you when you hear or say them? Lots of questions in here. And then you get a pre-assessment spread. Okay, this is protection, clearing, ritual worksheet. So primary invocation, secondary invocation, if any, what I will visualize, what I will specifically ask for. This is very, very detailed. This is a deep dive. So it's going through the days. So this is all pre-assessment here, and here is days 1 through 3, spiritual essence spreads. So these are things, and this is a reference guide for the major arcana. So like, for instance, card 12, the Hangman, signifies unfinished business. Oh, wow. This is so in-depth. There's a spiritual essence spread for day 1. Questions. And a rating scale on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being I definitely felt connected with my spiritual essence, and 1 being I'm not sure I had any connection to my spiritual essence. So there's a rating. And spiritual essence spread 2. Oh my gosh. This is so in-depth. So there's something for every day for 21 days. narrative spread, deconstruction, application, day 5. This is a wealth of, oh my gosh. So I can see this is exactly what I wanted, because a goal for 2021 is to start delving into past lives. It's a subject I've really wanted to delve into. Also, with finding my my exact time of birth, so I can have an in-depth, correct as possible chart done, an astrological chart for me, because there's some questions. I'm a pretty textbook Pisces, but there are some issues that I would like, you know, some answers to, and maybe some enlightenment. So this, and maybe trying to get, the struggle is real, trying to find the time of birth for me. I do know, I think I've narrowed it down to the AM, but yeah. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. So there will be a month very soon that I'm going to dedicate to this deck, and I will show you the other deck that I got a while ago, and I've done an unboxing for it. This is, which is past life goals. Fantastic. I am glad that I purchased this. The deck I also want to work in conjunction of this is an oracle. Uncover Your Past Life Oracles by Mandy Peterson. I do have a full unboxing of this deck, and I will link it in the description below. But this is along the same guidelines. You can see how you use both sides of the card. You know, if you were an achiever, a competitor, a failure, a celebrity, and it tells you, you know, your identity, and androgynous, time frame, pre-earth, lesson was self-love, your death was in old age, your location, stars, trauma was psychic wounding, faith was celestial love, you found true love. So I want to work both of them. This has a kind of a workbook, guidebook to go with it as well. But these, definitely working with them together, I think will be just phenomenal. Ethany on her Tarot Readers Academy also has a course on past lives reading. It was done a couple of years ago, a couple of summers ago, but it's still on her site, and I think I may purchase it. I think it's only $30, and I think that will just get me in the mindset of past life reading and answering some questions. So that was my unboxing, first impressions of Red Orchid's Art History Tarot for past lives, for past life readings. My impressions of it, yes, I agree with her. It could have been, it's not as inclusive or exhaustive, you know, as it could have been, but I think it's fantastic because of the limitations she was working with, and also with 78 cards. I think this is a fantastic system. I'm really excited to work with it with the workbook. I'm happy with the guidebook, you know, with the information it provides. And I want to work with this in conjunction with this. And I'm really excited, you guys. Get some answers. Yeah, let me know what you think. Do you have this deck? Have you worked with it, and have you worked with it with in conjunction with the workbook or your own system? What have you gotten out of it? Have I put this on your radar? Let me know in the comments below. Your comments, and if you tell your friends about this channel, if you subscribe, if you haven't already, it really helps the future of this channel. And I am so thankful for your comments and your support. And with that, I will leave you until the next video. Bye for now.